Good day, everyone. Welcome to this lesson on differentiated instruction, a very important and increasingly relevant teaching strategy in the LET Professional Education exam. Let me start with a simple truth. Not all students are the same. Some learn quickly and need more challenge. Some need more time and more support. Some learn best by reading, others by doing, others by listening. Some have learning disabilities. Some are gifted. Some are struggling with language. A teacher who ignores these differences and teaches everyone in exactly the same way is setting some students up to fail. Differentiated instruction is the answer to that problem. In this lesson, we will look at what differentiated instruction is, what can be differentiated in a lesson, the key features, a classroom example, the benefits, teaching implications, and LET exam keywords. Let's get started. Let's begin with the definition. Differentiated instruction is the practice of tailoring teaching to meet the varied needs of all learners. This includes adapting the materials you use, the activities you design, the way you explain things, and even the way you assess students. Notice what it is not. It does not mean giving different students completely different learning goals. It does not mean low expectations for some students and high expectations for others. It means finding different pathways to reach the same destination. Think about it this way. Imagine you are guiding a group of hikers to a mountain summit. Some are fast hikers. Give them the steep, challenging trail. Some are slower. Give them a longer but gentler path. Some need extra support. Walk alongside them. But everyone is heading to the same summit. That is differentiated instruction, same destination, different paths. In the Philippine classroom context, and this is very relevant for the LET, teachers often face classrooms with a very wide range of student abilities, backgrounds, and needs. Differentiated instruction is the strategy that helps every student in that diverse room feel seen, supported, and challenged at the right level. One of the most important frameworks for differentiated instruction and one that is DIRECTLY tested in the LET is understanding what can actually be differentiated. There are 4 areas: content, process, product, and learning environment. Let me walk through each one. Content This is what students learn. Not different topics but different access points to the same topic. A teacher might give advanced students a challenging article, while other students receive a simplified text with vocabulary support. Both are learning the same concept, but the material is matched to their level. Process This is how students engage with the learning. Some students might explore a concept through a hands-on activity. Others might prefer to research it. Some might need more structured, guided practice. Tiered activities where all students do the same task, but at different complexity levels are a classic process differentiation strategy. Product This is how students demonstrate their learning. Not everyone has to do the same type of assessment. Some students might write an essay, others might do an oral presentation, others might create a visual project. As long as the product shows mastery of the same learning objective, the format can vary. Learning environment This is where and how learning happens. It includes flexible seating arrangements, quiet spaces for focused work, collaborative areas for group activities, and most importantly, a classroom climate where all students feel safe, respected, and supported. LET tip: content, process, product Know all 4. Questions may describe a scenario and ask, which aspect of differentiated instruction is the teacher applying? Now let's go through the 3 key features of differentiated instruction. Feature 1, flexible learning paths. In a differentiated classroom, there is no single rigid path that every student must follow in exactly the same way. Instead, the teacher creates multiple entry points and pathways. A student who is very advanced can be given more complex challenges. A student who is struggling can be given more scaffolding and support. A student with strong visual skills can be given graphic-based materials. The path is flexible, but the destination is the same. Feature 2, student-centered. This is a recurring concept in the LET. Differentiated instruction is fundamentally about the student, not the teacher, not the textbook. The teacher designs the lesson by first asking, who are my learners? What do they already know? What do they need? What interests them? How do they learn best? The answers to those questions shape the lesson design. Feature 3, continuous assessment. This is perhaps the most important feature for practical implementation. Differentiated instruction doesn't happen just once at the start of the year. It is ongoing. The teacher constantly gathers information about how students are learning through observation, informal checks, exit tickets, formative quizzes, and uses that information to adjust the lesson. Teaching is a responsive, dynamic process. Remember these 3 features: flexible learning paths, student-centered, and continuous assessment. Let's now look at the benefits and what differentiated instruction means for classroom practice. Benefit 1, inclusive learning. Differentiated instruction is the foundation of an inclusive classroom. It ensures that students with disabilities, English language learners, gifted students, and struggling students all have a place in the same classroom and all have meaningful opportunities to learn. No student is left at the margins. Benefit 2, reduces frustration. One of the biggest challenges in teaching is managing the emotional response to difficulty. When work is too hard, students shut down. When work is too easy, they get bored and disengage. Differentiated instruction matches the challenge to the student's level, keeping them in what psychologists call the zone of proximal development. This reduces frustration and boredom simultaneously. Benefit 3, promotes success. When every student works at a level that is both challenging and achievable, every student can experience success. That success builds confidence, and confident learners take more risks, try harder, and grow more. Differentiated instruction creates a cycle of success. For teaching implications, use flexible grouping, sometimes by ability, sometimes by interest, sometimes randomly. The groupings should change based on the task and the data you have. Provide multiple resources for the same content. Let students show what they know in different ways. And most importantly, assess continuously. Don't wait for the end of term to find out who is falling behind. Let's now focus on what you need to know for the LET exam. Keyword 1, adapting instruction to learner differences. If a LET question describes a teacher who adjusts materials, pacing, or activities based on student ability or interest, that is differentiated instruction. Keyword 2, content, process, and product. These 3 terms will almost certainly appear in LET questions on differentiated instruction. Content equals what students learn. Process equals how they engage. Product equals how they show what they know. If you see a scenario where a teacher gives different materials to different students, that is content differentiation. If the teacher gives different tasks at different levels, that is process. If the teacher allows different ways to submit the assessment, that is product. Keyword 3, flexible grouping. In a differentiated classroom, student groupings are not fixed. Students are grouped and regrouped based on the purpose of each task, sometimes by ability, sometimes by interest, sometimes randomly. If a question mentions the teacher reorganizing groups based on assessment results, that is differentiated instruction. Keyword 4, diverse learning needs. If the question is about inclusive education, students with special needs, gifted students, or students who are struggling, think differentiated instruction. Keyword 5, equitable learning opportunities. This is the philosophical heart of differentiated instruction. All students deserve a fair chance to succeed. But fair does not mean identical. Different students need different support to have an equal opportunity to reach the same goal. Remember, same destination for all, different paths to get there. And that brings us to our key takeaway. Differentiated instruction recognizes that students learn in different ways and at different rates. By adapting teaching to learner needs, educators create opportunities for every student to succeed. That word "every" is important. Not most students, not the average students. Every student. As future teachers, whether you will be teaching in the Philippines or anywhere else, you will walk into classrooms full of students who are wonderfully different. Some will race ahead, some will struggle, some will surprise you, some will frustrate you, some will inspire you. Differentiated instruction is the commitment you make to all of them, that you will meet them where they are, design instruction that works for them, and refuse to leave any student behind because the lesson wasn't designed with them in mind. For your LET exam, remember the keywords: adapt, content, process, product, flexible grouping, diverse learners, equitable opportunities, and continuous assessment. And the key principle: same goal for all. Different paths to get there. You are almost there. Keep going, keep reviewing, and I will see you in the next lesson. Padayon, you've got this.